The moment we've all been waiting for, we finally have some news, or I should say leaks, on Power Rangers Dino Fury. What's up, everybody? My name is Robbie. Welcome back. You're watching Geek Level Asian, and today we're going to look at the new leaks that we saw from Power Rangers Dino Fury. We also have some character bios. Let's take a look at those as well. And if you want to make sure that all of this news is getting out to all the Power Rangers fans, go ahead and like this video. It helps the algorithm and it puts it in front of other fans just like you. And I'm also giving away my Funko Pop Ultra Zord at 5,000 subscribers. So let's dive right in. We've already known who the actors were. That was revealed a little while ago, and we normally used to get the Power Morphicon announcements, but obviously that's not happening due to COVID. So we got a digital announcement of all of the actors who are going to be our Power Rangers Dino Fury cast. In these leaks, we actually see them as a team for the first time, which is pretty cool. But the first thing that I noticed in these images was the antenna that the Red Ranger is going to have because he is an alien. And how funny they look, because they actually look like Piccolo's antenna, but if Piccolo was like going really fast and the wind was blowing his antenna backwards, that's basically what those look like. They're also a little mantis-y from the MCU, but obviously he has a disguise because in other pictures he doesn't have those. There's also shots of this dinosaur-looking guy who also has a brace on his hand, which is similar to the ones that all of the other Rangers are wearing, because I can imagine, just like in Beast Morphers, they're not actually going to be wearing their henshin devices all the time like they do in Super Sentai. They're going to have some other, like, regular watch-looking thing. Because in Power Rangers, they're still going with the we can't give our identities out. In Real Soldier and other Super Sentai, everyone kind of knows who the team is. So who is this Dinosaur character? I'm guessing he's kind of like a mentor. He is like a Zordon character. Let's see. There's also an image of the Red Ranger speaking to a dog, or maybe, you know, having a conversation with a dog. It's possible that that dog is the disguise for the dinosaur, because obviously a dinosaur can't be walking around. We get a pretty good look at their headquarters, a pretty in-depth look at what would be their command center, I guess you can say. And it actually reminds me a little bit of Ninja Steel, a little bit of Dino Charge. If you put those together into one, that's what this basically looks like. Remember in Dino Charge, they had the Energems kind of like on display? They're doing the same thing with the swords. Now, do they have to go and grab their swords every time that they're gonna leave this command center-y type place? I can imagine not. This is actually a good segue to the introduction of Kelson. If you're not familiar with him, he's been in so many different Power Rangers series playing different characters, but he's reprising his role as Mick from Ninja Steel and Super Ninja Steel, who he was like a mechanic and he was able to like work on robots and machines, and maybe he's gonna help them teleport their swords when they need them, kind of like they do in Beast Morphers. Who knows? Let's find out. Inside of the command center, there's this antenna thing, and they're also showing that outside in the forest. I have no idea what that is. I'm trying to think of, you know, like in Real Soldier, is there like some type of plot point where you would need that thing? I don't know. It's probably Power Rangers specific. And we also get a close-up look at some of the monsters. And if you've watched Real Soldier, a lot of these are going to be familiar to you. I see that wolf-looking thing. I don't remember his name in Real Soldier, but it's the episode where if he bites you, you get poisoned. Which reminds me, I wonder if they're going to do the whole thing. I think they're called Droidens. If I'm wrong, correct me. I'm sorry. Where basically the entire plot of Real Soldier is that the monsters get created from the sickness of a person, because the bad guy makes a person sick. I don't know if they're going to do that. I have no idea. They might not do that at all. I'd be curious to know if that's going to be part of the plot. So those are the screenshots of the show itself. Let's move on to the character bios. So we have the Red Ranger. His name is Zato. He's an alien from the planet Rafcon. He has been on Earth since the time of the dinosaurs, frozen in stasis. That kind of reminds me of the 2017 movie, because if you think about it, like, that's when Zordon was on Earth, and that's why he made the Zords into dinosaurs. After he is revived, he leads the Dino Fury Power Rangers in the hopes of stopping the evil forces that destroyed his planet from destroying Earth. And his Zord is the T-Rex Champion Zord. Then we have Ali Akana, or Akana. I don't know how they're going to pronounce that on the show. Ali is the Blue Ranger, and he's a confident, logical skeptic who's never afraid to share his opinions and always needs to prove he's right. Growing up, he traveled the globe with his archaeologist mom, Dr. Akana, or Akana. Ali doesn't believe that there's anything that can't be proven or explained by science. Sounds kind of like me. And his Zord is the Tricera Blade Zord. We have the Green Ranger, who we all know was recast last second. Izzy Garcia is a highly competitive and ambitious athlete. Kind of like Senna in Cure Major, if you think about it. There's also a shot in the leaks where she's wearing like I don't know, a marathon or a race type number, just like Senna does. Pushes herself to the limits and never gives up, even when the stress is overwhelming. She's close with her brother, Javi. We've got Javi, we've got Ravi, we've got Davi. Izzy's Zord is the Tiger Claw Zord. Javi the Black Ranger is a free-spirited musician who can be quiet at times, focusing his energy on his creative process and artistic endeavors. Though he loves music, he can't settle on any one instrument. His stepsister, Izzy, is his biggest supporter and the most important person in his life. And his Zord is the Stego Spike Zord. So that is a very far reach from Vanba. Vanba was not a musician, but they did stick with the whole, like, sibling thing. That brings us to the last Ranger, the Pink Ranger, who is Amelia Jones, a go-getting journalist with a passion for the paranormal. Amelia works at the internet media agency BuzzBlast. She's well known in Pine Ridge, I guess it's where they live, as the person you come to if anything weird happens. Her enthusiasm seeps into everything she does, much to the amusement of her friends and coworkers. And her Zord is the Ankylo Hammer Zord. So obviously, a very far stretch from basically all of the Real Soldier. They kept the sibling thing between the Black and Green Ranger. Melto was definitely someone who always thought that he was right and he was a skeptic, so they kept that. But that's pretty much it. Everything else is very different. And I get it, they had to Americanize it. Moving on to the Zords. The T-Rex Champion Zord belongs to the Red Ranger and is mirrored after a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It also has an upright battle mode. So that's pretty regular. I mean, Red Ranger Zords have had battle modes for quite a while now. I mean, I'm thinking all the way back, the Red Dragon Thunder Zord had that. The Tricera Blade Zord belongs to the Blue Ranger and is mirrored after a Triceratops, pretty obvious. The Tiger Claw Zord belongs to the Green Ranger and is mirrored after a Saber-Tooth Tiger. This is the first Saber-Tooth Tiger that we've had in quite a while, if I'm not mistaken. The Ankylo Hammer Zord. The Ankylo Hammer Zord belongs to the Pink Ranger and is mirrored after an Ankylosaurus. This is reversed in these images. I'm sorry, they're wrong. The Stego Spike Zord belongs to the Black Ranger and is mirrored after a Stegosaurus. So, nothing too interesting about that. Again, if you've seen Real Soldier, you know what these Zords look like. But, I mean, that's pretty cool. Now, moving on to the villains, one of my favorite parts. We have Void Knight, which is, you know, the American version of Geysorg, who's one of my favorite villains in quite a while because, you know, he's not, well, he technically isn't. I don't want to give anything away, but I really like his armor and suit design. Void Knight is an armored alien warlord who crashed on Earth many years ago. He is intent on using the power of the supercharged Sporix for his own personal benefit. I have no idea what a Sporix is. It sounds kind of like sporks. Then we have Boom Tower, Void Knight's monster general, a brutal fighter. So this is already kind of different because in Real Soldier, Void Knight or Geysorg is not the main villain, right? He's not the guy. But in this, it seems like they're making him the guy, which is interesting. I wonder if that means that we're going to see Void Knight more often than we saw him in Real Soldier. I also don't see that sickness mushroom guy. I think his name is Cleon. I don't see him in this, which means maybe they're just not going to do the whole sickness thing. So now, after seeing all these images, and if you've watched the videos before, you know that I wasn't really into Real Soldier. It just wasn't my favorite season. But you know what? Seeing this actually gets me pretty stoked because at the end of the day, I want it to be good. I really want it to be good. I think Beast Morphers was kind of like setting the stage for Hasbro. I don't know if everything is just gonna kind of be like Beast Morphers, but I hope that from that season they learned the things that worked and the things that didn't, and it's gonna make Dino Fury really cool. I really hope. Let's hope that it's one of the American series that is better than the Sentai, because honestly, the Sentai wasn't great. I actually like Kira Major more than I like Real Soldier now. But what about you? Do you know anything that I don't know? Please let us know in the comments. Let the entire community know. Also, what do you think about this? Have you already seen these pictures? What do you think about them? Do you have any theories as to, you know, why is Mick back? Who is this dinosaur? What is the big antenna-looking thing? Leave it down in the comments. I'd be happy to share more thoughts with you as well as we have a conversation. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, especially if you like videos like this. You could also follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, not on Facebook. I'm on Snapchat, and I'm doing more TikToks these days. So I hope that you found this interesting, and I'll see you in the next video. May the power protect you.